On Halloween in 1999, Capcom released a port of their major hit Resident Evil 2 for the Nintendo 64. While this may not seem like such a big deal now, back then it was a massive achievement to cram 2 CDs worth of game and cutscenes into an N64 cart, and it was all done by a small development team called Angel Studios. Impressed with their work, Angel Studios and Capcom started work on a new IP that would eventually be a sort of spiritual successor to their arcade classic Gunsmoke, with the eventual title of Red Dead Revolver. However, due to some behind-the-scenes turmoil, Capcom cancelled the unfinished game, and that's the end of the story. Or it would have been if Rockstar Games, who were incredibly impressed with Angel's work, acquired the studio and renamed them Rockstar San Diego, as well as buying the rights to Red Dead Revolver from Capcom and resumed work, leading to the beginning of something special for the studio. Being a fan of westerns, I was really excited when Red Dead Revolver finally came out and enjoyed it all the way to the end. Though that was almost 20 years ago. I mean, the series has improved greatly over the years, depending on who you ask, of course. But I don't know. Is Red Dead Revolver still good? I mean, does it hold up as well today as it did back then? And more importantly, can it be part of your big green collection? Well, thanks to our good friend and patron Stefan, who chose Red Dead Revolver this go-round, there's only one way to find out, so let's boot it up and check it out. Red Dead's story starts off like many a tale of the Old West. A prospector named Nate Harlow arrives back home after a big gold find to his wife and son Red. However, their reunion is cut short when a group of men raid their home and murder Red's parents, but not before he grabs his father's burning custom-made revolver and shoots the leader's arm clear off and escapes. 12 years later, Red is now a bounty hunter wandering from town to town when he comes across the town of Widow's Patch, which is under attack by a ruthless gang. Red helps the sheriff clear them out, getting wounded in the process, and Red offers to take him to Brimstone to get patched up. What follows then is a turn of events that lead to conspiracies, ugly truths, and Red's revenge for his family's murder. Again, being a fan of these western stories, the plot of Red Dead is one you've pretty much seen or heard before, but it's told really well here, mostly due in part to not only the characters you come across, but the characters you'll play as. Speaking of playing, RDR is a third-person shooter where, unlike its newer entries, is a straightforward trek through a variety of stages, where your goal is to get to the boss so you can take them out and collect the bounty, being ranked on your accuracy and time taken to beat the stage, earning rewards for your trouble. These range from permanent raises to your health and Deadeye meters, gun upgrades, and characters and stages for the multiplayer mode. You have a variety of revolvers, rifles, shotguns, and throwables that you'll gain either by picking them up in stages or by purchasing them at either Brimstone, which is like your hub area, or before a stage starts. This also applies to items that unlock journal pages and multiplayer stuff. In fact, you can even buy things that you weren't able to earn from stage rankings, though they do cost a bit more. Another interesting aspect of Revolver is that you'll play as other characters Red meets in the story, learning their backstory as well. There's the British sharpshooter Jack Swift, the rancher Andy Stokes, Red's cousin Shadow Wolf, a US soldier known as Buffalo Soldier, and General Diego, one of the game's villains. Something I mentioned earlier was Deadeye, the Red Dead series trademark slow-mo mode that allows you to target numerous parts of an enemy and fire in rapid succession, with other characters having a special attack instead. A move that comes in handy way more than expected, especially with the duel. Here Red will square off with his opponents in a good old-fashioned quick draw, which is split into 4 parts. Grab your gun, draw your gun, lock on, and fire. This part can be tricky as if you draw too fast you may end up not grabbing your gun, ending in a quick death. Lastly, there's the local multiplayer where you and 3 other players, or bots, go head-to-head in a few modes with weapon power-ups in the form of playing cards that you collect from shooting other opponents. It's pretty fun, especially if you can get a few friends over for a showdown or two. As it stands, Red Dead Revolver doesn't have too many flaws with how it plays. Controls are pretty responsive, except for some slight issues with dueling, but still satisfying. And progression is fun, though there are some parts where the game decides to run you through the ringer. For example, General Diego's stage has you fighting enemy soldiers on a bridge while you try to take out their cannons with your own. At first it's not that tough until a horde of soldiers materialize out of nowhere to kill you. So now you have to use your flare gun to take out cannons while avoiding enemy gunfire. Then it's decided to blow up the bridge with TNT. So now you have to protect your fellow soldiers who are planting the TNT while dodging enemy gunfire and the cannons. Oh, and if you die, you restart from the beginning. Yeah, checkpoints are very few and far between here, so be prepared to restart some sections over and over. Needless to say, Red Dead is quite the challenge, but worth it. For visuals, Red Dead shines with a more animated style for the characters as opposed to going realistic with a smeared film grain reminiscent of old spaghetti westerns, adding to its charm. Stages vary from old abandoned towns to canyons and mountains to the city of Brimstone and even the open frontier. It may not be the prettiest, but it shines where it counts. Just as shining is the audio with a soundtrack comprised of tracks from classic westerns as well as a possible few original compositions. Just to be on the safe side, I won't play them here, but searching for the soundtrack online won't disappoint you. As for voice acting, every character sounds over the top, a bit too serious and a little cheesy, and it's perfect, just like the characters in a spaghetti western would be.
The best general store in the territory's in Brimstone. I should know. I own it. Stop on by the general store, friend. We'll fix you up real nice.
Howdy, gunslinger. You'll see plenty more of your kind in Brimstone.
You're gonna blow up real good, cowboy!
Especially Red, who's channeling his inner Eastwood with great bravado.
Bear Mountain, what the hell does he want my damn ranch?
Ma'am? I'm sorry, sir. How may I be of assistance? I want my money. We have a small problem. Then tell me about the Golden Bear Mountain that young lady was talking about. I'm sorry, I can't disclose anything about our clients. Ooh! Then tell me where she lives. And when I get back, you'd better have my gold.
Red Dead Revolver was almost non-existent, but thankfully Rockstar saved the day as this is one of the finest Western games out there, even if that list is kinda small. It may not be as talked about as Redemption or its sequel, but rest assured Revolver is worth the ride, even with that difficulty spike or two. Finding a copy on the Big Green isn't too tough, though if you have a PS4 it is available digitally, though it is based on the PS2 version which does have its issues. With the exception of a DLC pack for the multiplayer mode of Red Dead Redemption, it's a shame that there hasn't been a remaster of Revolver, as I think with a few touch-ups it could do really well today. Even if that never happens, Revolver is a great tale of a game that was saved from death to have one hell of a redemption. Well, there you have it, Red Dead Revolver, another one in the bag. As always, I'd like to thank Stefan for his choice this month and for being in a Rockstar Games kind of mood. It's always a good time and kind of makes you wonder what he's going to pick next. Well, as for me, this is the Dali Popka, and as always, stay green, my friends. I'll see you next time. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode and want more of me and the Big Green, then click that subscribe button and the bell to get notified when new content arrives. I want to say a special thank you to my patrons for helping not just the channel grow, but me as a creator. You have my forever thanks. If you're interested in the channel and would like to help it grow further, consider becoming a patron today. For the cost of a soda or an item on the dollar menu, you can help myself and the channel provide the best source of Big Green programming and more. Once again, all the thanks and love.